second I turned the camera on, that noise started. I'm not kidding you. Unfortunately, it's so loud it'll be with us the entire video, I'm sure. So, we've got a storm coming in from the northeast pretty quickly. I've got my rain hat on. Hopefully it won't be too much rain. It didn't look like much. But let's get some environmental Biden news on this blustery, windy, rainy-ish day. Biden put 60-day pause on new leases for oil and gas drilling on public lands. The pink barrio is calling for this to become permanent. Got to be. If you really are the environmental president you're doing so far, then that that has to come, and it needs to be permanent. And maybe that's, why 60 days? Why didn't you go 2 years or something? On another issue with oil drilling is that a new study by McGill annual methane emissions from abandoned oil and gas wells have been greatly underestimated by 150% in Canada and by 20% in the US, the new study says. Oil wells are currently the 10th and 11th largest sources of methane releases in the US and Canada. Yeah, I don't think there would be too much the size of an oil rig release. I know that cattle and meat production makes a lot of methane as well, but they're probably just slightly lower than the 10th, 11th, maybe they're 12th on the list. So when did oil and gas development start? It started in 1850 to 1855, and it probably started in Canada before the US. Boy, it's getting a little worrisome here about the weather. Let's get this going here. I'm feeling a little wetness in my... Oh dear. The Department of Civil Engineering. It can be hard to find the records of old wells. They are over 500,000 undocumented wells in the US and over 370,000 wells in Canada. But did you believe we may have had some kind of lightning strike possibly? Maybe I'm not in the best places. What do you think? Did you guys know? Let's do this while we're walking. There's something else neat that I have discovered lately. In another study, they have found that the moon can actually affect methane releases in the Arctic Ocean. That when the tide is high, the methane releases are low, and when the tide is low, the methane releases are high. But those are natural and have always been there, that factor. It's when the moon was here much closer, I'm sure the releases were even worse, and that might have been why we've seen so much climate up and down throughout history. As far as temperature, boy. All right, well, let's try over here and around and see if it's any quieter. Let's talk some U.S. politics. The Republicans in the Senate want to hold back stimulus checks, that $1,400. They want to hold it back until everybody gets inoculated with the COVID vaccine. Now, a week ago, it was a hoax. It's been a hoax ever since Trump took office. And it all of a sudden now is not a hoax? That all that crap that you spoon-fed the U.S. people and they fell for it? You mean it's not a hoax? The Republicans want vaccinations now? What's up with that? The hypocrisy of the U.S. I think we have the most hypocrisy of any nation on the planet. I think it has to do with wealth and greed and the feeling as if one has superiority over somebody else. Unbelievable. We have so much work to do. I fully understand why a lot of people have given up or think it's just hopeless even. good. Oh, damn. Let's move on. Jesus. So does that mean that because they believe in the vaccine that COVID is real and that they really believe in masking and they'll start actually putting on a mask? Are they going to take it that far? I doubt it. This ought to be really interesting because all the hypocrisy and the bullshit and the Republican crap is coming home. And right behind it is all the Democratic crap. And you know as well as I know, a new party is needed regardless of whether it can be done or not. I mean, we've done that excuse over and over. Now let's get another party going. The Pink Barrio party. Doesn't roll off the tongue very well, does it? The party of your footprint. Anyway, I definitely appreciate you guys watching and all the comments. I do read them. And all the ups and downs and new subscribers with all the noise. I would love to know why when a camera's turned on, all hell breaks loose. I guess it makes for a good video though, because it is real. I don't make this shit up. Alright, until next time.